everybody. Thanks for joining us today. It's really good to be able to have a little bit of good news to share. And today, that good news is that we've worked together with Coach Phenicie to negotiate a contract extension. And we have agreed upon a new contract for Coach to remain the head football coach here at Idaho State University. The contract is a 2-year deal with a salary that is consistent with years past. However, we worked really hard on the incentive program, made quite a few changes to make sure that that mirrors and reflects our institution's commitment to strong academics, to building an excellent culture, as well as achieving really good results on the field. So we're very happy to continue working with Coach Phenicie. We really like the changes that we are seeing over these few years, and we like the direction the program's going, and definitely recognize the collective efforts of this staff to move the program forward, to work through what has been a very unusual and an adverse fall. Love our approach going forward, and we certainly wanted to continue that and extend it. So with that news, I'd be really happy to take any questions, and also we'll have the opportunity to talk with Coach. So what can I tell you?
Pauline, first of all, congratulations. I mean, just how much more complicated did the circumstances make this with, no fall season, and now 2 seasons this year, when you guys were sort of negotiating?
Yeah, it did make it a different kind of an environment to negotiate a contract in, because of course we always like to see a full fall season unfold and understand our challenges and see how those are dealt with when we're in a situation like this. But I'll tell you, there's great value in the fact that I was able to spend 2 fall seasons with Coach Phenicie and observing the football program and working with that coaching staff. And there's also a lot of value in going through something like we've gone through this fall. That's absolutely unprecedented. That's hugely adverse. That requires a tremendous commitment on the part of the staff and everybody involved with football to really take care of our student athletes and have a sound plan moving forward. So there was value in that, and I really liked what I saw. I liked the integrity the program operated with. I liked the way that we took care of the student athletes and the care that the staff showed. And I love that their eye remained on the ball, recruiting wise, and preparing for what might be a spring season or a fall season, and just the can-do attitude that we had out of our coaching staff. So while it was more difficult, there's a lot of value in getting to see how a group of people operate in a tough situation. And I think that our staff, under the leadership of Coach Fenn, did a really good job of
that. Pauline, what were some of the, you mentioned some of them just now, but what were some of the other things that you were looking for that you wanted to see from Coach Phenicie, that prompted you that you wanted to continue the relationship?
Well, I am really appreciative of the way that he's motivated his staff to work hard academically and to recruit the kinds of student athletes into our program that are going to be high academic performers and good citizens and great students on the field as well. That's really important to me. I think the culture that he is building within the coaching staff, just the enthusiasm that's there and the focus. And I think that we've seen in past years a very exciting style of football. I think that it's great to watch us throw the ball the way that we do, to see our defense perform just real smash mouth football the way that we have been doing. And I want to see more of that. I think it's a great legacy of Idaho State football. And we have a staff here in terms of our head coach and our coordinators all the way down the line who can continue and build that brand of football that's important to our alumni and that we love here at Idaho State. So I also think that seeing how Coach Fenn reacted in a transition when I arrived here as athletic director, I think we did have some conversations about things in our department that would be different and look different. And I really like the efforts that have been made to buy into that culture and to elevate and to commit to everything matters, which was here before me, but everything really does matter to our ISU football coaching staff. And I like that. So all of those things made me feel very, very comfortable moving forward and continuing to work with this really good group of professionals.
Pauline, when did conversations sort of start around this extension? I mean, how long have you guys been talking about it?
You know, we've been talking about this for a while. Ordinarily, admittedly, it's something that we would do a little bit sooner. And we entered discussions this summer. However, as the landscape changed and we had this heavy lift this fall, it really did just halt conversations a little bit in the interest of putting first things first and really focusing on student athletes and their health and trying to understand what football was even going to look like. But we knew, we had an understanding that we were going to be moving forward together. And so there was a lot of patience and trust exhibited until we got back to the conversation. Right. Anything else I can tell you guys?
2 years. I mean, just I know it's 3 seasons just because of the way that the circumstances are right now, but 2 years. I mean, are you worried about being sort of in the same place again in a year where he's going into his last year?
No, that doesn't concern me because we have a good relationship. And again, we really are talking about 3 seasons. I think that there are some reasons to go with a little bit shorter term right now. In the COVID environment, it's hard to extend the kinds of increases that we'd like to. And I don't think that it would be fair to fall short in a long-term contract of the best that we could do. So there are some considerations like that that came into that decision. And we just think with these coming seasons, as unique as they're going to be, that we'd want to remain flexible and put something together that was a short time horizon that we can work through and see where we need to go from there. Our program wants to just remain ready to pivot, and ready to move, and ready to incentivize the correct things. So there are a lot of reasons for that short term, but 3 seasons has been pretty customary around here, and I think we were comfortable not shaking that up this time.
Have you guys done anything similar with the assistants contracts? I mean, sort of what's the update on that?
The assistants contracts are connected to the head coach's contract, but they are 1-year deals. Something that we've done this year, we have built some incentives for assistant coaches tied to team academic performance. That was one of the major changes that I think we do better for our assistants in terms of incentivizing something that they can really truly control and incentivizing something that is extremely important to our program. We want student athletes that we can be proud of. Our coaches, certainly from a recruiting standpoint and from a support standpoint, have major responsibility there and have major influence there. So rather than providing them an arbitrary bonus or something very nominal, they have an opportunity to bonus at a high level for doing a great job supporting our student athletes academically and seeing great team performance. So that in that way, their contract is tied to the head coach's contract, but they are 1-year deals.
Well, I have, yeah. I'm sure you saw that Montana State, Portland State are out for football this spring. What's your comment on that? Just RE Idaho State.
Well, on behalf of Idaho State, with regard to our comments on that situation, every institution's in a very different place. Everyone's in a different climate, a different environment, and have had very, very different COVID experiences. So it's hard to put myself in their shoes in those decisions. I can tell you that they were really, really difficult calls in discussing those things in the AD's meetings. But I support our peer institutions in doing what they felt like they had to do to protect the health and safety of their student athletes. There are a number of factors there, from the frigid cold weather to just the public health situation in those areas that those schools had to consider. And just as they made that choice, we've maintained here at Idaho State that we're playing, that we're excited to play. But if something significant occurred and in a week from now we felt like we just couldn't play safely, we'd make the same decision for our student athletes. So I honor their choice to do that and to make those hard decisions. But we've got 9 schools that do want to play Big Sky football, and we're among them, and we are pretty excited to get cracking.
Thank you, Pauline.
You bet, Andrew. Anything else? Looking forward to seeing you guys all in person again someday, but thanks for your time.
Thanks,
Coach
Pauline.
Ben, love to have you talk with the guys.
Oh, okay. How we doing? I don't want to do this. Let's see. I can see you guys now, but I look old.
Doing good, Ben. How are you?
It's having a good old, it feels like a Monday, but it's Tuesday. So we had day off yesterday. So just ready to get this thing going here pretty soon.
Just your thoughts on having this done and being able to move forward.
Yeah, well, first foremost, I'd like to thank President Satterley and Pauline here for the belief in how we're running this program and how we're going to keep running it moving forward. You know, it was a really long process, and the whole time Pauline did an excellent job with communication in terms of where we were, what we're doing, and why we're doing it. And there's even some points where I had to expand my job title. I was a mask ambassador on campus for a while, and I've done some work over in our COVID testing station. So I'm kind of expanding from football coach. So I'm preparing for life after football with all this. But just excited to be able to lead these men the next few years, and we've got a group of young men that are anxious to go out and play right now. They want to play ball. They're working really hard, and they did a great job in the fall academically, and as well as in the weight room and as well as on the field.
As far as Rob, as far as like the incentives that are part of the contract, was that something that that you sought after, or is that something that was presented to you? How did those come about?
Well, it's mostly, there's some just minor adjustments from what I had before, and they all made sense. You know, it's nothing really that it's actually there's some better things in there. And Pauline took a look at it and said, hey, this needs to be better. We're going to move this, and so I appreciate all that. And so there was really nothing to negotiate over with the deal. It was just a matter of where the school wanted the priorities, and they really kind of upped the academic aspect of it. And I could wholeheartedly agree with that.
Hey, Coach. The guys knowing that there was going to be a season last fall, and then not knowing if you were going to be returning, what was kind of the talk between you and the players just leading up to okay.
I didn't get the last part of it, waiting up to something.
Waiting up to just today, knowing you're going to be with the team?
Well, I think all along, I kind of, like I said, Pauline communicated with me really well. We were talking about it during the summer in terms of an extension. However, the whole financial situation with the school, with the COVID and then not knowing what the enrollment, there's a whole lot of factors that were way more important to deal with than my contract at the time, especially, once they canceled the season. But the kids, it was like, as soon as the Big Sky said, hey, we're not going to play in the fall, we're going to play in the spring, they did an excellent job shifting their mind frame into an off-season mode. And there was really no discussion or no concern or anything along those lines. These guys, one thing we've done is for the last 3 years is train them to continually prepare. And collegiate athletics anymore is a 365 days. And it's not just an activity. It's not something you do some of the time. It's something you're doing all the time. So the kids, there was no talk, no focus, or no discussion of it. They were focused on preparing for the little mini camps we had, and then they came back in really good shape, and they're going to get ready to start practicing here soon.
And your thoughts on Montana State, Portland State being out for the spring season?
They have to do what they feel is best, and we do what we feel is best. So if they feel that it's in the best interest of their team and of their student athletes to sit out the fall or play a minimal schedule, that's fine. The one thing that I really appreciate here is the support. Once again, President Satterley and Pauline both have and the commitment they want to have us play. And so, I can't speak to them. I can't speak for them. They have a different set of circumstances. I get it that it's, I lived in Montana for 7 years, so I get it. It's cold out, but it's always 72 and sunny right where I'm sitting, and I'll take it.
Do you have a time frame on when your guys' season's coming up here in a little bit? When are you going to get started, or what's going to be some of the first things you'll start to do to get ready?
Well, right now we're just going through everything we're doing is allowed by the NCAA, and we're in the weight room. We're doing some conditioning and some walkthroughs, and that's where we are. That's what the NCAA has mandated that we can do, and then we can start practice here. If our season starts, we get our 25 practices before our first game. So we have that date set right now, but there's nothing official yet. So I'm not really, at a place to talk about it until it really comes out. But we have a couple calendars ready to go. So, but right now it's mostly conditioning, get the guys running around a little bit, and some walkthroughs. We're not, nothing with helmets, nothing official like that.
Longer. Coach, I know that the ISU students are getting tested for COVID. Is COVID testing continuing between the football players, or is that going to start once practice starts up again?
No, I know all the students had to be tested, from what I understand. Like that's the one thing. That's one job description I did not gain during this whole thing, was being a trainer. Now our trainer, Dustin Ensinger is if not the best I've been around. The way he's handled this, the way he's communicated. He tells us when he tells us to go do it, we go do it. And he's in touch with our health people on campus. Like I said, he's been excellent since this whole thing started, and I think he's lost some hair, or he's got some gray hair, but I will go on record saying the way he's handled this thing. So yeah, they'll be testing, and I don't know if it's 3 times a week that we're going to have to do. I don't know how that thing's going to go. I think Coach Looney was talking about it. His nose is raw. I think is that. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that, I guess. That's the one my brain poked. Can't wait for that one.
How important do you think the continuity is just for the players after, 4 years of you being there trying to build something, and especially with what's been going on, just with all the uncertainty recently, just having that sort of sense of continuity?
Yeah, I think it's important for anybody to have that, because the kids know the expectations. They know, they pretty much know what's coming. Routine, discipline and routine are good for young men. They know where to be at 2:15 every day. They know where they're going to be at 4 o'clock every day. And they know what to expect on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And I think that'll be a big deal moving forward. Always is.
You guys good? Anything else?
Any added pressure on you just because, it's a 2-year deal, and I mean, you could be in the same place, a year from now, coming up on your last year?
Well, the way that we coach, you always coach like your job's on the line. We put enough pressure on ourselves in that office that there is no added pressure. I mean, that's the whole thing. We coach to win. We play to win. We work hard, and we're not going to do anything extra and over and above and beyond just because of where we are, because I think we take it to the max as it is. Whether we had a 10-year contract or whether we had a 30-day contract, I think our staff, those men that work up there in the office with these guys every day, would work just as hard. So, you can sit there and say it's in the back of your mind, but it's more important is getting ready to play the next game and working our best, working our hardest, giving these kids the best opportunity, best chance to be successful on the field.
Good answer, Rob. Thanks.
Everybody good?
I'm good.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.